I'm live. Peace and blessings, family. I am. I'm serious. I steadily pray for your health and wealth and our success as a people. So I kept going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to come on up here and address the latest ridiculousness and madness that Trump has expressed, where in a tweet, I don't know on which platform, his platform or whatever, Trump said a whole peace and blessings, beloved Tim Mississippi. I got it this time. That is really good. I'm on that right track. Greetings to you, beloved. I let me go on over and bring you with me. Let's see, share screen entire. There we go. And allow. There we go. And I guess I'll stay right on over there. Let's see, what's that look like? I like that one better. Okay, let's go over to the Daily Mail site. I went to several different sites. I don't just go to Daily Mail, but and especially lately with them just going, the Sun took over from Rupert Murdoch, and I understand they had some conflict, and I do believe that's because the Sun wanted to drag it in this more blatantly hysterical fashion. It was always hysterical, but now it's gotten even more ridiculous and more strict to the narrative, to the script that the Satanic elite, in my conclusion, have put out there for them. Let's pass that one right by and go to, what was it? Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. Whole civilization will die tonight. Like, wow. That's so I don't even want to use the word insane, because with Trump it's just like it's on a whole nother level where it's ridiculous. And the man is not mindlessly insane, he's scriptedly insane, because if respect were the thing that he was searching for, he knows how to behave in a regard to at least be more palatable. He knows how to read a room. Trump knows, that's one thing he definitely knows. And that's one of the reasons why he's developed this Barnum Bailey three-ring circus personality, which is a facade. All psychopaths, I would say, yeah, he's a psychopath, but all psychopaths have a persona that they create for their victims, for the gullible, in order to achieve their goals. It's not the real them. It's simply what's been fabricated through years of success that they know is a lie. They know it's a script even of their own making. But with Trump, because of his background and where his father comes from and the people that he's associated with and their various connections to those who are supposedly in charge and the ones who are in charge, with him it's definitely not just because people I saw early on would look at Trump like he's a self-made maverick, and that's nothing of the sort. His father was rich, and so that got him established. But then as I've been researching around, there's been just many different posts about a book. I think it's called King of the Jews, where there's a character, a novel, and there's a character named with the initials DJT, And it almost pretty much to the letter describes Trump's family background and the period we're going through now where that was the ultimate goal, that he was going to become the golden king. And then you see him decorating everything in such garish fashion with gold. You can see that he's not a maverick. He's been indoctrinated and brainwashed himself to believe his purpose is to bring about the apocalypse. But hold on a second. Itchy nose. But I can see evidence that he's an out and out Satanist. And that's a very twistic logic that I'm just guessing at, because I keep, like all of us, I'm reading all of the different things that they do. And I knew the minute that Trump posted that video of him and Netanyahu on the Gaza Strip, drinking, little island drinks and turning the entire place into beach resort. It was so disgusting. But the outset of the video was talking about how they are going to finally be able to come out of hiding, come out of caves. And this is just a narrative that is stated in many white musical genres, like some, and I really enjoy unusual music. I don't like to call it alternative because that just sounds really yuppie, and I don't like almost anything yuppie. But in these different types of music, like one of my favorites is Nick Cave. Nick Cave will often talk about apocalyptic, rumblings, and almost all their TV shows, they're nonstop dystopian, because they suffer from, they're not just being creative with their, narratives. They literally suffer from a terrifying fear of what's coming. There was some comedian who years back said, we sort of know we're going out. We know what's coming, and white people are just scared to pieces about it. And that has permitted them to see Allah, use the name of the Creator you've been divinely guided to embrace. I've been saying Allah more because I have no Muslim shame. I am not looking at the way that they've defamed Black us. That's the same thing that they're doing to Islam, and they've done, because there's an awful lot of Arab people who are basically white, who are easily beguiled, like Saudi Arabia, forget it. And so they hate Allah, and they look at him as if he is their enemy, because he won't allow them to engage in pedophilia, homosexuality, just like the panic people back in ancient Roman times. And I don't know if they were around during during Greece's time, but that's where the word panic comes from. That's what Peter Pan is about, is they just hearken from the shepherds and the goat herders who would be up in the hills taking care of their flocks, and they got real lonely. And so, they started doing all kinds of untoward things that they were just like, hey, we kind of like this. And we also know about the cave tales where they get together with the woman, and you're in an environment with very few resources. It's for you view it as a dangerous thing because she'll pop out a baby. You don't know necessarily what you could do to stop that. You have an idea, but at the same time, so why not start attacking the children? Why not start attacking the animals? They're right there in the, your residence with you. Right. And so these things, they have them in all their stories and in their music, and this whole delusion that we've been fed, that these guys had some, like command of civilization. And here's Trump saying he's going to, and Daily Mail was like really, really, because they're, in my conclusion, owned by Freemasons. But they were so like just mamby-pamby with it. Whereas Zero Hedge been taken over for a long time now. But I knew it would be, because I was just like, any racist site, any whiteism out there, it's going to inevitably go satanic, because they view the creator as their tyrant, because he won't allow them to express their most heinous impulses. And you can have all kinds of different, whiteism adherents out there. They may not be into a Dylan Mulvaney, but across the board, they hate Black us. They cannot stand the idea of us having our own right to be whom the Creator made us to be. They've got to hate themselves, because we make them nervous. We make them feel inadequate. And so they're like, well, yeah, but look at them. They're stupid. It's so easy to, make them do really bad things when they're doing even worse. Look at Trump saying, I'm like, I give in to, all kinds of evil influences. Bad influences is what he said. He didn't say evil, but we know it's all evil. And so they're terrified of us being in charge of our own destiny, when we never came after them. If anything, it's just what it is. They invited the Moors in to control their antics. And with the immigration that's going on right now, you don't see Africans doing what a lot of this, and they can also, as I showed, brainwash somebody to do something violent. So every now and then, like once every other year, you'll see a Black person has committed some crime. But it's mostly the Arabs who are doing these things. But at the same time, you invite them in, and you never stop inviting them in. And that was to destabilize Europe enough so that when they brought in Trump, as I said, there's a whole novel out there predicting he was going to be president and do all the stuff he's doing. Then Europe would be more inclined to be on the side of Israel and of all these, horrible things that they're doing. It's like, there's no, there's certain differences with Hitler, but you never know. I don't know. He was in office a while before he brought up the final solution. But I do believe that's what they're circling around, trying to get Black, you and me, into a final solution of sorts. But they're doing it in a covert way, which is through the CMOS, through the radioactive rice that's been shipped to just about all African nations. And they ship it, it's rice grown in Japan, in Fukushima Prefecture, is my estimation. And I collect the obituaries, and there's African heads of state and singers. Those are the ones who get reported on dying of things that Africans never used to die of. And so when I saw that, video with Trump and Netanyahu, and they're like, oh, we're, coming up out of hiding. And that's what they feel they were promised. They were promised during the apocalypse that the devil will have his way. But that didn't say anything about the faithful going along with his way. And so when I wasn't the only one saying, don't vote for either one of these demons, Kamala either, because I look and I'm like, yo, they're going to do their best to get everybody to race on over to Kamala because they'll be scared to death of Trump. I'm not saying you shouldn't be extremely troubled by Trump, but scared to death? No, because this is their end. This is their end. But before I get to that, with Kamala, that's what the whole video against Obama and Michelle was about. If they really wanted to take Obama out, they would just reveal all the secrets they know about him that aren't really, I'm sure the worst of it is somewhere that isn't on the web, but all the different things about Obama that they could just like rattle out, no problem. And they don't. All they do is have these petty little, oh, he's an ant, or they're apes or something. It's like that's how they pick at us so they could get the response, reaction that they always count on, and that we won't look and see, no, this is the end of your reign. There's something more going on here when you do this stuff. When you say these things, a whole civilization will die tonight. Who the hell are you that you could say that you could do this? And this whole war is illegal. If the United States were still what it claimed to be under the Constitution, which is since after, was it shortly after the Civil War? It no longer was. They did this, doctrine and maritime thing. They got so many little hidden means of lying to everybody, to controlling everybody. They make them old panic-inducing shepherds and goatsmen look like the unschooled barbarians they were. They're just barbarians with sheepskins and nice clothes. Right? So, yeah, I just wanted to come on in here because I recognize that in a situation such as this, let me greet the people who are here. Peace, beloved. Romac, greetings to you too. And Leonard to Judah. Nice to meet you, brother. And SZA, oh, my sister queen. SZA, the artist. Black is her favorite color. She says it all the time. Finally caught her live again. Peace. Yes. Yeah, we told you don't pick any sides. Who could pick a side with this level of madness happening? Oh, I can get rid of this right now. All that needs to be done is, when I say we told you so, I mean that I wasn't the only one who was just like, look, they're both awful. When you make a vote, you are spiritually designating that person as your representation, because it says a spiritual exchange. And the fact of the matter is, ain't nobody out here representing Black us, except for Black us to the best of our ability. But they got us with all this going on right now, and the easy ways to thwart everything that both sides of hell are doing is people are talking about nothing. And just the scams are off the charts, where folks, Dr. She told me they were talking, everybody's into parasites right now. Parasites. You're going to have a certain complement of foreign entities in your body. Most of your cells and all the rest, they don't even belong to you. So there's always going to be living matter in your body. The thing is to keep the balance correct, is so that it doesn't take over your body and you're like a corpse that's rotting. In which case, all the predatorial bacteria. What happened? Why do I have this rainbow in the back over here, or this circle? This was never here before. I don't know if that's on live on the camera. It looks like it is. I don't know why that is. I did not put that there, family. So that's them. Peace, beloved sister Sharud Williams. It's good to see you again, Queen. So I don't like that thing right there because that's them. And you know what? It doesn't matter because everything is owned by Allah. Everything. So the rainbow, he marked as a symbol for our rise. It doesn't belong to a bunch of perverts. And when I first got here, I did a share called "Does God Hate Homosexuals?" Because when you listen to them, they truly do have a feeling, a sense that that's the real them. I disagree. Of course I do. But when it comes to following the rules of the one and the only, he ain't say he's going to make it easy. It's not easy to do the right thing. It's not easy to build a shelter, a home, a house, a apartment complex. These things are not easy. It's real easy. Peace, beloved sister Elizabeth. Oh, for form. Oh, form. I'm going to go with that. Good to see you, beloved. It's not easy to be productive, but people want it to be easy to submit to righteousness. When we grow up, we're not supposed to be 5 anymore. We're supposed to understand the satisfying empowerment that comes from focus, activity, from building something, and at the end of it going, I did that. It scared me, but I did it. That's an incredibly wonderful thing. I can't stand that thing in the back. So forgive me for being distracted, but I'm going to get rid of that because I sure as heck didn't put that there. Visual effects. And put none. How do I? Oh, right there. Okay, there we go. And let's go like that. And there. All right. I don't know why they did. Probably because they didn't want me to show that. And they sort of thought, I don't know, let's see. You know what? I want to see if I do my book. Okay, I'll do my book then. That's even better. Maybe they want me to convince you to go and get the rescue that's in the pages of this book. All right, because it's right there. Your sister been working for you. That's right. I will challenge my own fears on your behalf because I know that's what has to be done. And so when it comes to following his commands, these devils want it to be easy. They want to be able to just express their inner doubts and if you're thinking an impulsive concept, doesn't mean that you have to engage in it. And there's so many. Oh, peace, beloved sister Gwen V. How you doing, Queen? You don't have to take part in whatever's going on inside your head. And after a fashion, you get used to turning it down. Now, not everybody is capable of doing that level of discipline, but everybody who does, you don't hear them saying, well, I really regret giving up heroin. And for 20 years, my life has just been horrible. You don't hear those who do make that step to the other side saying, nah. If they slide back, that's when they're disappointed in themselves. I'm not saying that they can't keep trying. Sometimes you have to keep trying and trying and trying, and then you finally make it. But no, God does not hate those who are having a problem with his commands. That's part of the learning process. But you got to want to learn because all species protect their children. When you got the pansexual dudes showing up, and I mean, soon as you do anything that questions his complete and total wisdom, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So even from the outset, from homosexuality, there's nothing good coming from it. Otherwise, he would allow the procreation of the next generation just from that. But he doesn't. And he puts it out there. So, a lot of people I watch far more peaceful than I am, far more accommodating than I am. But in the book itself, it says there's certain things you have a right to say, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. So I'm just like, it's not, it will never be successful to go against his commands. It just won't. And even if you have difficulty, just, because I got things that I'm like always trying to second guess, like, okay, should I do that? Shouldn't I do that? I don't know. But I look at the book, I look at what it says, I look at my intention, and then I make a decision from there. So yeah, that's all that I need to say. I let me get on out of here. Let's see. And peace and blessings. I just came up here because it's good to connect, especially when these devils are out here just tripping with pure evil. And in a way, I'm sort of glad the way it's all coming about, because I had theorized with the increase in assassinations against Black people, starting with Trayvon Martin. And also I can't remember the brother's name who was executed. And Clarence Thomas signed off on it. And I remember I was just like, he's not going to sign off on that. But yeah, everybody was wearing T-shirts saying I am. But when all of that rise, I was like, they're trying to piss us off, because it just was too much of a pattern. All the police were like, I feared for my life. They had an expectation that we are just given to violence, because it's not that we did that back during the civil rights era. There were enemy provocateurs, but we did burn down our own communities. But we're not dumb. We learned our lessons from that. Like, yo, I don't want to burn down my, little five and dime over here. They got a little bit of that going with Mike Brown, but that was all enemy provocateurs, where they had pallets of bricks set up in the middle of these protests in order to get things started. So they expected us to do it, and we didn't. We didn't. Even common, regular American people, regular white people, they're not doing what they want them to do. They need chaos. So don't give them the chaos. Build. Just before I decided, okay, I'm going to do this live, I was writing my novel, my latest one. I'm going to go right on back to it, because that sucker's good. And I probably, I hope I only have like maybe 3 or 4 months left, because I just got a couple chapters. I did all the rewrites, and it's all the way up to page 354 something. And I'm on page 325. So I got just a little bit more of rewrite. So everything's seamless, because that used to drive me crazy with my other novels, where I just didn't look closely enough. And then there were like little mistakes that later on I went in and I corrected. This one, this guy's coming out perfect right at the bat. And so I'm getting right on back to that. I implore you, go to 25,000yearcycle.org. That's something we do when it's not chaos. We build together. That's what he told us to be, producers. And so Dr. She and I, we're right here for you, without a doubt. We have amazing products, because we're like you. We're tired of the crap Tired of the, like you get a bar of Dove soap and the sucker melts in the friggin' soap dish in at least it did when I was a child, when I used to use Dove soap, and I don't know what it does right now, but I know with my soap, you get a big thick chunk. Oh, thank you, Brother E, all the way over in the UK for buying another order of soap and Dr. She's healing formulas. Thank you so much for that. Let's see what thank you so much, Sister Gwen B, for posting that. And when it happened, it had to happen this way. This is proving the case that we need to separate. Exactly. That's why I'm like, whoa, thank you in a way for being just so obvious, devil. That it's because they wanted to be able to blame us. That's what I was trying to talk about. Oh, thank you so much, Sister Gwen. I do. I'm not promoting it right now by saying that. It's my favorite soap. It's wild when you start making something yourself and then you realize, dang, wait a minute. No, I'm not one of these big companies with all, scientists working on the formula. They work on the formula so they could cheat you out of your money. They put in just fillers and crap ingredients to make it look like it's all foamy. You get a good foam with my soap, good, soap bubbles all over, but they're real. They're not filled with all kinds of agents and chemicals. So when I started washing with my soap, I knew it was good, but when Dr. She was like, that soap is the bomb. That's when I was like, yup. When you make it yourself, you make it the best. And that's what is my joy, my soulful joy to offer to you, family. So let someone who's never bought my soap before go to 25,000yearcycle.org and get your heal on and your clean on, okay? All right. Let me get on out of here. Oh, peace, beloved, having a human experience. It's today the big day for me, the big mouth to make good on his. Wait, you said it's today for me, big mouth to make good on his threat. I'm not sure if you mean that you're Trump. Or is it him? I don't know. All I know is we have time. We have time to get the truth out there. That was something I wanted to share, but I don't want to be on here too long. But go to my playlist. Go just to the homepage of my channel and go to the videos or the lives, and you don't even have to click on the shares. You can just see the titles and they will be an instruction on all the ways that the devil's lost. He's lost. Thank you so much. I love your name, by the way. And I'm glad that you subbed. That's a wonderful thing. Just recently, a lot of people subbed, and I welcome you so very much. I don't know what your response is to me, because I am not like anybody else up on here, okay? Except for maybe Dr. She, okay? But I could be partial in that way, because for me, always, he's an amazing man. But I don't think so. I suspected when we were having conversations, I was like, this brother needs to be sharing this just with everybody, because his mind is, it's just razor sharp. So yeah, that's it. Let me get out of here at 33 minutes. I love your family. Straight black pride, and we are singing our way to eternity. I know that's right. Peace and blessings. Have a magnificent, non-apocalyptic day. That's for all the fools, the devils, and their worshipers, okay? Peace and love, Sister Sharud.